Hey guys, it's your girl Carrie. Welcome back to my channel. We're going to be wrapping up the CNDD Designer Dips 2022 Advent Calendar. This is 25 gorgeous new dips from CNDD Designer Dips. And I wanted to take a moment, like last year, to show you all the dips that are included in this year's calendar because they will be available coming soon as individuals to CNDD Designer Dips. So now's a good time to go through everything, show you all the swatches so you can write down your favorites you are ready to purchase once they become available. And then, of course, at the end, I'll do a quick demo with a couple of the colors out of this calendar. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then stick around. We're getting into it. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about this calendar for those of you guys who may have missed out on it this year and are curious about it for next year. So this is 25 new, never before seen dip powders from CNDD Designer Dips. So these are exclusive to the calendar in December, but the great thing about it is after the first of the year, she will slowly start to release all the dips in this calendar as individuals. So it's really great for those that can't really afford the calendar, but still want some of the gorgeous dips inside. They can still get them after the first of the year. So that's really the reason why I do this video every year, since I want you to see what's in there. So if you decide you do want some of them and you weren't able to purchase a calendar, you can pick out the ones that you want and have your list ready for when they actually do release them. So I believe after the discount and shipping and all that, I paid about $125-ish for this. So I totally get that it's not cheap, but considering that you're getting 25 dip powders, it actually ends out to be a pretty good deal. That puts each dip powder at about $5 a piece, which is pretty good considering they're normally regularly priced between $7.50 and $8.50. So I think it's a good deal, but I also love the fact that I get to open one every day for the entire month of December. It's just a really fun time. So let me open this up real quickly just so you can see inside, and then we'll get into all the swatches. So here's a look at the entire calendar. So a little bit smaller, and I feel like it was a little bit more streamlined than last year's calendar. It was a little bit more sleek looking, which I really liked. So we just had the plain white on the outside with the holographic CNDD on top. And these flaps are actually magnetic, which I thought was pretty cool. So it just, I don't know, made keeping it organized and clean a lot easier, I think. So you open up these little magnetic flaps, and then on either side, you have a cute little message from them. So of course you got your drawers, the 25 drawers with the dip powders. Then on one side, it has a little message that continues to the other side from the team. So nice little touch. I like the little hollow, but I also like just the whole clean aesthetic of this year's calendar. I thought it was really nice. So just like last year's, we have all the individual boxes, but instead they're all kind of packed in here in this one little section, and they are in order this year. Last year's they were kind of all out of order and jumbled around. So as you can see, this is empty right now because I've already taken out all the dips, but each one of these drawers had a little dip nestled inside. So really nice. And by the way, if you did not see last year's advent calendar and you want to take a look at that video, I can link it for you in the cards. But this is a lot more, like I said, streamlined, a little bit more cleaner than last year's. I really like the aesthetic of this year's box. So typically with advent calendars, you have the 1 through 24 because the last one is supposed to be on Christmas Eve. But this one actually included a cute little separate box that came with the calendar for the 25th, something you could open on the day of Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. So just a cute little touch. So I'm going to go and jump into the swatches. There are 25 to get through, guys, so it's going to take a little bit. So just keep in mind I have timestamps for you if you want to skip ahead to any section. But yeah, it is 25. We're going to go through all 25, so I will try to keep this as brief as possible.
I'm feeling way too low to start this night, but I wanna get to your bash. Last night you tried to make me angry, yeah, but this time I get you mad. Oh, don't need apologies enough for this. I'm burning for you. Can't get enough of the weekend. I wanna seize the night like I can't let go. lighter, lighter than the sunlight. Lighter than the sunlight. You're lighter than the sunlight. Lighter than the sun. You're lighter than the sunlight. Can't get enough of the weekend. I wanna seize the night like I can't let go. Can't get enough of the weekend. Don't wanna ever get lost to the sun. Oh no, we can't get enough of the weekend. We wanna seize the night like we can't let go. Can't get enough of the weekend. Don't wanna ever get lost to the sun. No, no. We've had this conversation, and you seem to agree with me. But when there's complications, you withdraw and leave me to be. When there's a problem, you become like a wall. And every time I trip, it's a free fall. Why don't you help me the way I help you? You don't have to save me, just be my parachute. When I'm feeling down, you're just not there, making sure I'm okay. Why don't you help me the way I help you?
All right, so here's a look at everything all in order. I hope you enjoyed all those close-ups. Just beautiful eye candy, right? And I love how she kind of arranges the days in order of like great color combos. There's usually like duos and trios that you can kind of pick out as you accumulate a few days, and you can kind of see with them all lined up here. That's definitely the case, which I think is fun for those of you that may struggle a little bit with color matching. Hey, that's me too sometimes. So honestly, I loved everything in this box, truly. But of course, there's always going to be some that I enjoy more than others. So there's a couple that I probably won't get as much use out of, but it's due to personal preference, not due to quality. So the first one would be the Day One, which is a thermal. I just don't get a lot of use out of thermals. It's a really beautiful color shift, though, I will say that. But my hands are always cold. So thermals don't work very well on me. And then these two particular glitters, Lagoon and Hypnotic, those are just a little bit more of a coarser texture glitter. They perform beautifully, but you're definitely going to need to clear encapsulate these. I mean, really, you want to clear encapsulate most glitters, but I'm just saying those in particular, you're really going to have to encapsulate pretty well because they do have more of that coarser texture. But again, those are just preference things I'm pointing out. That doesn't have anything to do with the quality. Just like last year's calendar, I feel like there's such a great variety of colors and textures and just great combos. I mean, there's just beautiful tones in here, cool and warm. There's foils, there's glitters, there's shimmers, there's solids. I just really think she did an outstanding job on this year's calendar, but that's been true so far the last two calendars. I'm sure it'll be true of next year's too. She really does make fantastic quality dips. So I just wanted to show you a couple of my favorite combos. I fell in love with Angel Wing. If you ask me what my favorite one is, it's probably Angel Wings. But I thought it looked really pretty, surprisingly prettier paired with Tango, because Tango has kind of like a gold shimmer running through it. So the two of them just tie together beautifully. I may have to do a Valentine's Mani with those two. But then in addition to those, of course, you guys know I love me some teals, especially these with the blue tones here on the right. But the ones on the left are beautiful too. And I actually really like the combo of Coastal and Agave better than I like the combo of the green solid next to the more green toned one. So they're similar. Yeah, they're definitely similar teals, but one's a little bit more green, one's a little bit more blue. Me personally, I like Agave just a little bit better, but both will pair beautifully with that glitter. And Coastal is an outstanding glitter, definitely a must have. I really wanted to use Angel Wing. Those pinks, the Dolly pink, oh, definitely, or the teals. But in the end, I settled on this Rainbow Fish and High Tide. I wanted something really bright and vibrant and fun to start off the new year. And really, these blues are so bright and vibrant and beautiful that they almost hurt your eyes. And Rainbow Fish, the shift in this glitter It's absolutely stunning. You could pair it with so many amazing things because of all the crazy cool color shifts in this one. So definitely wanted to do a mani with these two, but honestly, I'm super excited to go through a lot of these dips in this calendar, and I hope that'll give you an idea of some things that maybe you want to pick up once they are available as individuals. So I'm going to go ahead and do the mani for you really quickly. I'll keep this pretty short, but I'm going to use my Virgo and Gem liquids for this because they're pretty contaminated. And I will say these blues are going to definitely get in your brush a little bit. So I'm going to finish here with the iGel Beauty base and top coat as well. But yeah, they're beautiful colors, but you're going to get a little bit of staining and you're going to get a little bit of glitter pickup, obviously, because these are so intense. So obviously you can do a really good job of wiping off your brush between layers, but I'm way too lazy for that. So I have separate jars that I use, are jars of liquids that I use for my glitters, and this one is just pretty contaminated. So I felt like it was going to be a good choice to dip these blues out. Hey, look at me. I'm actually dipping in jars again. I can't remember the last time I've done that. And by the way, I know a lot of people like dip at that 45-degree angle. I always just lay flat into them like that with my nail. But you know, whatever works for you. But look at how amazing this coverage is on one layer. I mean, really, I could have stopped with just one layer, honestly, but I wanted a little bit more strength, a little bit more structure, so I ended up going in for the second dip. But both of these dips you're going to see are absolute one coat coverage, which is not usually the case. Usually it's going to take you a good 2 dips no matter what you're using to get full coverage. So I'm not sure how well this is translating on camera, but if you can see the texture of this shimmer dip, you probably can see that this is definitely one that you can chrome with. So it has a bit of a heavy light blue shimmer running through it. So you can definitely wear it the way I'm wearing it, but you could also chrome with this one. So any shimmer that you have that has that really like intense shimmer running through it, that's not so much gritty but a little bit smoother, is going to be one that you can definitely chrome with. You guys see what I mean? Like, that does not need a second coat. I did it for strength, for structure, but it was absolutely not necessary. You could absolutely get away with one coat of this. Y'all, I gotta insert a little bit of B-roll because I feel like my heart is about to burst. Both my boys are asleep on my lap while I'm doing this voiceover, and my heart is just so full. I don't know how many of you guys remember me saying this, but Charlie was actually my first dog. And yes, I'm in my 40s. It's a whole long story. But when he came into my life, I was just like, okay, this is what true love feels like. And then Chase came and joined our family, and he immediately fit right in. And he and Charlie have just become really close buds already. And I feel like I just could not possibly be more happy. Anyway, sorry for that moment of gushiness. It's just that being a dog mom is like one of the main joys of my life. In other news, I thought you guys might like to know that I was recently invited to join the Scene Designer Dips Ambassador team, and I did. It really made sense, honestly, because as you guys have probably seen, actually maybe I'll insert some updated B-roll of that too. My Scene Designer Dips collection is like ginormous. I think it's my largest one of all my companies that I have purchased from. It's a stupid huge collection. But I love them all. So it kind of just made sense. So I did decide to join their team, and I'm really happy to be part of their team. So I felt like not only did it make sense because I already know and love their products, but also because I'm hoping that I'll be able to get some more things to preview for you and some more collections to show off to you, so you guys can decide if you're interested in purchasing any of their goodies. But as you know, as you probably already know if you've bought anything from them, pretty much everything she makes is absolutely incredible. So it's really exciting for me to be able to represent another company that I already know and absolutely love. So if you weren't aware, they don't do individual ambassador codes, so it's just friends get 10. So that's the code that you can use to get 10% off. So there's no like individual ambassador code that you need to worry about. But from somebody who often forgets that friends get 10, try not to forget, because it's 10%. Save your 10%. So as far as it goes for my channel content, that's not really going to change much. I've already been doing Scene Designer Dip manis. That's nothing new. So you'll obviously continue to see the annual advent calendar, as well as hopefully new collections and new products. And, like I said, my goal really this year is to get to use a lot of the things that I have purchased and haven't been able to get to because my collection is so huge. So I'm hoping to go through some of my Scene Designer dips, especially because it's such a huge collection, and find some that I haven't used that are maybe not new but haven't been shown the love that they deserve yet. So I'm really excited for what this year brings, and I'm really happy to be part of their team because, as you guys know, I do really know and love her products and just think she does such an outstanding job with her business. All right, sorry, the rambling is done. I think that's all the news I have for you. So back to this glitter, I did want to tell you that I normally do 2 layers of glitter. As you guys know, I do like a kind of a background layer of the fine glitter and then do a second layer with more of the chunky pieces. But this glitter had such great coverage that I decided against it. I ended up doing just 1 dip and then doing a bit of hand placing, which you'll get to see if you're not familiar with how I do that. But I've especially noticed that with shorter nails, it's a little bit harder to disguise them when they're kind of chunky monkey. Like when you have medium-sized nails, I feel like it's a little bit easier to disguise it if the nails get a little bit chunky because you kind of have the length to balance the thickness, right? But at least from my experience, and you guys with short nails, you can tell me what you think. I feel like the shorter the nail is, the more I feel like I want to pay attention to keeping the nails as thin as possible because I feel like otherwise it kind of really what's the word I'm looking for? Highlights the shortened length of them, I guess. So yeah, anytime I can get away with a single dip and maybe a dip of clear on top of that, that sounds great to me. And fortunately, this glitter delivered. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and brush this off and just do a tiny bit of hand placing and dip in clear. And while I do that, I'm gonna take a little bit of break because I feel like I've been talking too much. I'll be right back.
We've had this conversation and you seem to agree with me, but when there's complications, you withdraw and leave me to be. When there's a problem, you become like a wall, and every time I trip, it's a free fall. Why don't you help me the way I help you? You don't have to save me, just be my parachute. When I'm feeling down, you're just not there, making sure I'm okay. Why don't you help me the way I help you?
All right, application is done. So I got 2 layers of this beautiful blue shimmer and then 1 layer of the glitter with 1 layer of clear, and everything just performed perfectly, just as you would expect from her amazing quality. So everything is nice and smooth and nice and flat. So I'm just gonna file and shape, mostly clean up around the sides real quick. I'll be right back. I think you get an idea of it on video, but you really need to see Rainbow Fish in person because I just think the reflect, the holographic shift in this is absolutely gorgeous. It's such a perfect name for it too. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish up with just a little bit of detail here. I've been seeing a lot of manis with these different kind of stars on them lately, and I thought that would be a cute way to finish up this mani. So I don't know what you want to call these. I mean, they're stars, but they're not traditional stars. So I'm just pulling out my painted desert dotting tools as well as these liner brushes, and then I got my Daily Charm metallic silver paint, and I'm just gonna make some little stylized stars and put a little bit of a flat rhinestone in the middle. So look at this. Every time I open this, I'm just blown away because it looks like molten metal. It's so cool. The quality of their gel paints too are top notch. I definitely would say that right now Daily Charm and Nails Cat have my favorite gel paints. But again, you could always use these Savalan gel paints. Those are a really great budget option. I really do like those as well. So yeah, once that gel base is cured, I'm just gonna take my dotting tool and just put a little dot down where I want the center of the star to be, and then I'm gonna take the liner brush. I ended up using the 9mm brush for this one just to get my nice long lean lines there. And so some of these I drew like the 4 points on, and then some of these I drew the additional lines. I don't really feel like this needs a whole lot of explanation. It's a pretty simple process, but I don't know, I just thought they were cute and added a little something extra special. So I did promise you guys you'll get some more non-gel options for art soon, and you will be getting that. I think we'll do stamping next because it seemed like that's what most people were really interested in. But again, if you wanted to create these, you could definitely do this with a acrylic paint pen, which, as you guys know, I always have those linked in my Amazon storefront. I really need to bring those out and use those for you guys again soon. I haven't done a video with them, but I've used them before and I really do like them. So these would be a good alternative for this. So I just went ahead and finished those up and then fully cured those. And then I'm just adding a little bit of jewelry gel, which is completely unnecessary because what I'm actually using is some old flatback rhinestones I had gotten from a Sparkle & Co. sub bag, which I don't subscribe to them anymore, but I'm going to check and see if these are still available. And if they are, I'll link them down below. Or if not, I can probably find something similar on Amazon. But I forgot about these, and I saw these when I was looking for how I wanted to finish these little stars. And these are so handy. These are really good if you want the look of a rhinestone, but you hate that texture because they're super flat. So you really don't even need nail glue for this. I just know how rough I am on my hands. So I used it anyway, but you could just use gel base and just drop this in there and that should be plenty. Super cute, right? I want to do some more of these little stars, these little accents. I think they're really cute. I've seen some really cute ones on some nude Mandys as well. All right, our bright blue mani is all finished up. So I'm going to go in now with some cuticle oils. So I'll be using Scales of a Mermaid Snowberry, which if you've been around my channel for a minute, you know that this is probably still my top #1 favorite scent from Scales. If you like blueberry pastries, blueberry muffins, blueberry pancakes, anything blueberry with like pastry smell, you need this. You need this in your life. It perfectly captures that scent. It's just, I don't know, it can't be beat. I've got some that have come close and maybe even tied with it, but I still think this is probably my #1 favorite from Scales. I mean, if you love blue, I'm just going to go ahead and say that you really do need these. I would love to hear in the comments down below if you guys picked up this year's calendar. And if you didn't, tell me what you are really wanting to pick up once they come out as individuals. And I wanted to let you know also, as I was working on this voiceover, I did see she had a few that were still available, at least at the time I was recording this, for purchase, like the entire calendar. So maybe go check that site out if you want the whole calendar, because it might still be available at the time I release this video. But yeah, I would love to hear what your favorites were. I definitely would say mine was Angel Wings, and then of course these blues, the teals, and then probably that pretty pink called Dolly, because you guys know I'm a sucker for pink. Anyway, I know this one got long, guys. Thanks for being patient with me. I'm going to keep this one saved on my CNDD playlist. So if you ever want to go back and see close-ups of these as they start to get released as individuals, it'll be available for you there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, it would help me out so much if you would give me a thumbs up down below. And while you're there, if you're not subscribed already, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. And don't forget that notification bell. We have a new video every week at 2 p.m. Central, and probably at least one other short throughout the week. Lots of nail stuff going on around here. As always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend it with me. You know I appreciate it so much and love you guys to pieces. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.